Hello, if you found this video, the chances are you've been ripped off buying or selling tickets on the secondary ticket market. The secondary ticket market consists of four major companies which are nicknamed the Big Four. They're Viagogo, Seatwave, GetMeIn and Stubhub. I'm going to do a number of short videos. Firstly, I'm going to concentrate a bit more on Viagogo on this video, as they're the main culprits of illegal activity, well, certainly within the UK, but just sticking their fingers up to secondary ticket rules in general. But I will break down every scam. A lot are more complex. I won't do it on one video because it's not going to be listened to. The only way people have found this video are if they have been ripped off, and I've shared it with you. So it's only going to get a smaller number of views. But what I'm trying to do is build up support from people that have gone round in circles, haven't had their voice heard. Because you know what? The BBC, Channel 4, etc. have done shows on these companies before, mainly Viagogo again. But Viagogo have took them to court every time. Before the Dispatches show, they had to go to Supreme Court, which cost about £250,000. So they were just laying groundwork for no reporters to report anything. And there's only been stuff from the very gradual. They've just been reporting for the last, however long these companies have been about, 8 years. It's been the same reports. It's all to do with the prices on the market, the inflated prices. And then a little bit more recently on the Dispatches show was their links to promoters and how they buy direct. I was surprised that, this shocked a lot of people. I've known that from day one. I've known their links to people from day one. But, this video, I'm not going to concentrate on any of that. That's been reported professionally. I'm not a professional reporter. I'm not a professional speaker. And the idea of this short video is to try and get someone, there's going to be someone that's been ripped off that will listen to this video. I'm only expecting a few hundred views, but I'm hoping someone will share it to somebody that is a bit more professional in making these videos, a bit more professional in explaining, and we can work together and do quite a number of short videos, because we need to get our voice out there as either sellers or buyers. Or if you're not happy with the market, it's not as transparent, it's not as clean cut as they're making out to be. And the worst thing is, people know about this, police know about this, MPs know about this. This is why they're distancing themselves from the company, but at the same time they're too scared to speak out. The BBC know about it. I've worked with the BBC. I worked with Chi on Radio 1, giving her a lot of information. The BBC had 3 weeks in a row watchdog lined up, and they only went to reporting prices and that again. And now it's going to be next month, and there's a report coming out on the secondary ticket market, and I know they'll miss out a lot of the main stuff on the report. They'll concentrate on prices, they'll concentrate on bad touts, making money on the secondary ticket market, but they're not coming up with solutions, and they're not telling the public what's really happened. So just running through it now. If you found this video, you've probably not had a ticket delivered, or the wrong ticket, or a delivery company has lost your ticket, or you've been sold a fake ticket. I'm going to do videos covering each category and breaking down exactly what has happened and proof of why it has happened. But the most important thing that the secondary ticket market do not want you to know is, we see after every big sales, you see people moaning on Facebook, moaning on Twitter, moaning on all social media, in fact, saying, I missed out on tickets to such and such a band, more recently Adele, and now these Robin B touts are selling for X amount of money, and why is Viagogo allowing it? Like Viagogo are not doing it themselves. Why are Viagogo allowing it? This is just legal touting. People always use that word on Twitter. It's a clear misunderstanding. Touting is not illegal. There's certain elements of touting, football tickets, etc. within the UK that's totally illegal, but most of the touting is legal. And again, we'll do another video on football tickets, because the police, City of London Police, where Viagogo's actually got their head office around the corner from, they've actually okayed Viagogo to sell football tickets on quite large scales. I mean, dealing with Champions League, the European summer-finals in France this year, they've been given the go-ahead, the green light from one of the main police officers, D.I. Blackwood at City of London Police. So again, I want the public to lean on the City of London Police and lean on MPs and say, why is this happening? Why is there one rule for one and another rule for another? But more importantly, it's not all about the profit, the sales. That's what everyone moans about. What I want to get into people's heads, the truth behind the sites. These sites, if they had to prove, and all I'm asking now, I'm not asking for 1 second, I'm an ex-tout of 12 years. I've seen the market change many ways. I've worked deep within all these 4 companies listed as a power seller, so I've been the inside looking out. I know exactly how these tickets companies work. I'm not asking to ban the market, put a cap on the market. That's not my decision to make. All I'm saying is, and weirdly, these companies will try and get this video, and they will get this video removed from YouTube because they can clean up the market of all bad reviews, put in good reviews themselves, get this video removed. All I'm asking, so why would these companies want this video removed? Because all I'm asking is for the government to enforce something which allows these ticket companies to still trade, still sell, but to do exactly what they say they're doing. At the minute, they say they're acting as a middleman, a safe haven for buyer and seller, to make sure no one gets ripped off. I think we'd all agree that's a good thing. But in theory, it's not true. If these companies were to have to prove the tickets on their websites would be non-existent. I mean, and there are ways to make people prove every single ticket on their website, and there would be non-existent. I will tell you now that at least 90% of all content on any of these 4 big platforms at the time of listing does not exist. So when people brag on social media, just got tickets for Take That, Adele or Viagogo, you never just got tickets. You paid in the hope, the chance that you would get tickets. Now, if these companies were a little bit more honest and said exactly what they were doing, because, street touts have done that for years. They were, sell what they haven't got. They would have people stand whilst they try and source tickets for people. But they're a bit more honest in the way they go about it. Viagogo is almost, once you buy, it's secure. They try and make themselves sound and look like the primary ticket market, like Ticketmaster, C tickets, AXS tickets. If you order off them, you'll get an exact seat number, and that ticket is guaranteed, and it will come out to you a month or so before the event. And then a lot of people who are buying off Viagogo assume they're buying off the primary market. They think it's that guaranteed, and they've used many trickeries and many links we all know they've got links with the big brands and that. Again, I'm going to break down the links and, the companies that have had links in the past, like Chelsea, like the French Open, that are now trying to distance themselves, but of course, for legal reasons, they can't talk about the problems and exactly why they've broke their relationship with these companies. But then the company do not care. They've got their fan base that they wanted. And then people from Chelsea, from people that want French Open tickets, will still go back to Viagogo. So 90%, I'd say, at least 90% of the content of Viagogo at the time of listing does not exist. They'll take your money, and the exact root of why you've probably been let down, and the pattern in which way, I can prove with the patterns of how you've been let down. They'll sell what they haven't got, because there's a seller's market and there's a buyer's market. Straight after the main sale sells out, people all turn to secondary ticket sites, or they get diverted from the primary market straight to the secondary market. So people think these sites are a good thing. They're a very dangerous thing, because now they're using, I mean, they'll sell a year in advance. Say, for example, a band is selling at an arena with 20,000 people, and it's a year in advance. Viagogo would happily sell 100,000 tickets for it. I mean, that sounds mad, that sounds crazy. They know there's 80,000 tickets that they can't supply. But there's way that they actually profit off that, because they'll claim that a seller's let a buyer down, and even if they refund this person nearer the time, you bank all that money for a year and then refund people, you've made a lot of money on interest. That is why it's in their interest to keep selling this way, and no one's doing it. What I want fans to do is, make these companies as safe as they claim to be. So put some sort of government enforcement in there. Exactly the way we have gas safe boilers, etc., and we have ATOL for flights and holidays, etc. We need something in the secondary ticket market, because it's not always the price of the ticket. People fly down or fly from other countries to go and watch a big football match, and they get let down. They get told that they're going to pick them up from a hotel there, but they don't quite get the hotel details. They get told they'll get all the details on the day. They get run about, because at the time that's happening, Viagogo are still running about trying to source tickets for them. So I'm not saying they're going to let down 90% of people. When I say 90% of the contents don't exist, I'm not saying 90% people get refunds. I'm just saying they're taking the money whilst there's a hype for an event, and then later on, nearer the event, prices crash, and that's when Viagogo will go around trying to buy tickets to source. But they're in a win-win situation. If they find the tickets at a very, very cheap price, they make a lot more than they originally, say they make. I mean, at the minute, people think they only make 15%, but they make another 10% from the buyer, then they make money on the postage. So they make about a third of all tickets, but I mean, that is still a very, very small part of their business model. All I want the government to do, because the government do know about this. I've spoke to Sharon Hodson and Sharon Hodson's office, because she's been vocal after the dispatches programme. Again, she only concentrates on prices, the drop pricing issue, but she doesn't concentrate on the fact the main issue, I think, is companies selling things that they haven't got. So when it gets up to a month near the time, you see all these people posting on Twitter, oh yeah, we haven't got our tickets. And they just get a reply, don't worry, you're covered by 100% guarantee. And then the price of these tickets are dropping, and people are like, just give me my money back, I'll go elsewhere. Viagogo like, no, you can't get your money back under our terms and conditions. You can't go elsewhere. But Viagogo will wait until the last minute, until the ticket prices drop, and they'll get yours for cheap. Or they'll refund you, or they'll make refunds really, really hard. They are now, I mean, it's actually proven now, I've known for a few years now, they sell their own fake tickets. I mean, this may sound weird, but was an incident a few years ago where they annoyed a power seller who was getting paid before events. Power sellers get paid every 2 weeks. So that was another thing that you'd have to look back over BBC News reports, etc. But power sellers get paid every 2 weeks, so it's after they post tickets. So apparently a power seller, sold £200,000 worth of tickets to an event, posted them, and it was all just the same photocopied e-tickets. When this got discovered, Viagogo then used the platform in the news to swing it around as a good thing, and saying how, if someone bought off someone else, they'd be ripped off, but with Viagogo, they're covered by their fans' guarantee, which again mean nothing. Everyone thinks these guarantees are all government enforced and outside agencies. They're not. It's all their own guarantees, which mean absolutely nothing. And unfortunately, you don't find out that until it's too late. I'm not saying every experience is going to be bad with Viagogo. I'm not saying that in a long way, otherwise I wouldn't be trading now. But people get ripped off without knowing they've been ripped off. People will probably say, oh, I've bought for 10 years off Viagogo. Well, not 10 years, I've only been about for 8 years, sorry. People might say, I bought for years off Viagogo. I've had zero problems. They always supply my tickets. I would think that'd be very weird of having zero problems over that amount of years. But you know what? They do sort people out in the order. So customers that have been loyal to them, they try and sort them out first. But I can almost guarantee you don't always get the ticket you purchase. It's as simple as that. You'll get they get around that by, say, listing a really bad block, and then they'll give you a free upgrade. So people end up putting a good review and think they've got a free upgrade. It's not that at all. The fact that they're giving you an upgrade is because they never had your original tickets at the time of selling. And then all they've found, so they'll list a block, and then all they know is they have to get that block or better, because it's in their terms and conditions that they'll find replacements and better blocks. So there's going to be a report out next month, May 2016, and it's going to miss out a lot of these details and a lot of actually what happens. MPs, etc., know this happens, so they were trying to put a law in place. Well, they have put a law in place, but it's just been ignored by these big four, as I knew it would, because the fines are so small. The fines are up to £5,000, which are massive for a small seller. But for a big company who are going to get millions of pounds worth of extra sales for ignoring these laws, it's more worthwhile they're ignoring the laws. But it basically says that all block and seat numbers have to be listed now in future. And Viagogo put a bit in the paper saying they welcome the new laws, they welcome the change, and then straight away, as I knew they would, they're ignoring it. And they're peeling against it now. They're saying, so I think the law's on hold now, that they want to see whether the law can be passed. Why shouldn't the law be passed? Viagogo is saying it's like, people should be able to hide basically when selling the tickets, but so promoters don't know they're selling on. But at the same time, Viagogo use the word transparent a lot when they're selling their brand, that they've come to the market to make the market more transparent. There's nothing about Viagogo that are transparent. You can't find out a seller history like you could used to be able to on eBay. If the seller's sold more than one ticket, whether she is a decent seller, whether they supply. You can't get a seller's phone number, a seller's address. You struggle to get a Viagogo phone number, address, etc. That's another thing. Again, I'll leave that for a later video. Some major, we all know promoters and that are working with these companies direct, and it's exactly what I was saying earlier. If companies are selling a year in advance and pocketing millions and millions of pounds a year in advance, all they're then doing is using that money, so somebody else's money. That's why they make refunds, etc. hard. They use that money to sign these partnerships. That's why they can afford to sign partnerships to the best football clubs and best music promoters, etc. So then now they do not have to rely on sellers and that. So they're not what they claim to be, which is an eBay for tickets. They're not a middleman. All they're now doing is buying large batches from promoters. They signed a deal with a music promoter for £75 million. They're not giving away that money. They have to make that money back. So part of that deal will be virtually all tickets from that promoter go straight to the secondary market. So who's losing out? They're saying they're a good thing for the fans because they're making it safe for them to trade on the secondary ticket market. But the fans are losing out because now there's no primary market. Before, if an arena was selling 20,000 tickets, 20,000 tickets used to all go on sale on Ticketmaster. Now you'll probably get 1,000 or 2,000 tickets that arrive on Ticketmaster. That's why they're selling out so quick. These secondary companies have all got deals to sell. So, I mean, and that's where, when I say 90% of tickets do not exist, that's the only reason I'm giving a 10% window that do exist, because a lot of the tickets are direct from promoters, and I've gotten really no problem, but I just want everything to be a bit more transparent on the marketplace. There's been some artists over the years that have got really annoyed on how their tickets are being sold, and they try and put things in place to show a credit card on the day, to have that lead person there on the day to pick up the tickets. Ticketless events, they're called. Robbie Williams has done it, Adele's done it, Noel Gallagher's done it, the Brit Awards do it every year. And they're trying, their intentions are good. They're trying to make it more for the fans so people don't resell. But it's actually a lot better for the touts, because that's exactly how all these companies want to operate. They want to be given up until the very last day to supply tickets. And that's why they hold people in the last few weeks of event, because it's the last days that the prices crash the most, and that's when they're buying in. So all these ticket markets want to go to the last minute. So, and when these ticket companies sell this way, it pushes the price through the roof, because people are very limited on how they can resell these tickets. So all these little sales sites like Gumtree and Craigslist and that, they do not allow tickets to be sold this way when it's for these events that are trying and going big in the media to try and stop the resale of these tickets. So these companies actually love tickets to be sold that way, so it needs to change. There are ways. I've spoke to MPs. I've got 12 years experience in the ticket market, and there are ways to combat this. And I'm not saying my opinion isn't going to matter to anyone. What my personal views are on the market. Should it be capped? Should artists get more? I mean, this is what we're all listening and everyone's debate. Should artists get more of a percentage of the secondary ticket markets? All I'm saying is make it more transparent. At the minute, we don't even know what the secondary ticket market's worth. It's always guesstimated at about £1 billion a year in the UK. But we don't know, on average, how many tickets, what percentage of tickets go straight to the secondary ticket market. We can only guess that. And what percentage of tickets that were sold on the primary end up on the secondary ticket market? And on average, how many times do these tickets cross hands? How many people profit out of these same tickets? How many fakes end up on the market? How many sellers are there out there? How much unpaid tax goes on the market? Again, the tax issue, I'm going to do a complete another video on that. But we do not know the answers to this, where there is a system in place that we could put so we can know. So all I'm saying to MPs and that, MPs are like Sharon Hodson, who is going to argue to ban the market. She's been good for getting her voice out there on the market, but she's going too extreme. What I'm saying is, put a system in place so people understand the market more, make the market transparent, put some sort of safe government body within the market that people could go to, because at the minute people cannot get a phone number, an email, a UK address for Viagogo for Love or Money, yeah? So put a safe governing body so when buyers have a problem they can turn to that governing body. Who wouldn't want that? So I mean there's ways. I mean, I don't think I've explained, I'm trying to explain it. Like I say, I'm not an expert speaker, and this is going to be a lot of rambling. But from the moment you buy a ticket on Viagogo, all you've done is give them money. I'm not saying you won't get a ticket. What I'm saying is, on easy to find events, you'll get the ticket a month before the event. But on these harder to find events, especially the Euros, if you're buying tickets for the Euros in France, you will be running around to all hotels. And that's another thing they do. When they're picking up tickets from these events and they say they'll deliver them to your hotel out there, all you have to do, they will not give you an address because they don't know they've got the ticket yet. They show up at these events and they send street touts out to buy tickets on the street to deliver back to their hotel. So they start ringing people in an order of people that most loyal customers, they try and sort them out first, but also people that have been a bit more vocal on social media, Twitter, they can't post on their Facebook page, they've took the comments off that for their exact reasons. But people that are more vocal, so it's not in the order that people bought tickets off them, it's them trying to mask bad reviews. So if you have been vocal on Twitter and that, the chances are they're going to try and sort you out when you get out there. They'll have a list and they'll do it in a set order, but you will not find out that hotel. They'll tell you they haven't made a decision at that hotel. That is rubbish. They use the same hotels for virtually every event, every arena. So they know exactly where they're going to be, but they need to put off advertising it because they don't know they've got your ticket. It's easier to ignore your emails, ignore your phone calls, and then just claim, oh, you know, we have to refund you because your buyer let you down. They've always got the thing to hide behind a pretend buyer. There's not a pretend seller. Sorry, I've got that completely wrong. They will tell you your seller has let you down, and they'll hide behind this seller, and you'll get it's a very rare circumstance your seller has let you down. It's not true at all. So the police, the City of London police, if you want to allow Viagogo to sell for the Euros and sell this way, even though it's completely illegal to sell football tickets to UK customers, to England fans in the UK and have UK sellers, we all know that's illegal. The police are telling them to divert to their Switzerland site, so it will be legal. I've got videos of the Viagogo director at Parkinson explaining all the laws and how he knows the loopholes and how he knows it's illegal what they're doing. I've also got emails off statements of old managers to say that this illegal activity of selling Premier League tickets and that from clubs they're not affiliated with, it comes from the very top. It comes from Eric Baker. He's sitting in another country. He doesn't care. So all I'm saying, a slight message to City of London Police, if you want to allow this company in your area, because we can't go to any other police in the City of London Police, for people that are not familiar, kind of police themselves. They're their own independent police within the City of London. So in that mile radius, any businesses, that's why Viagogo choose to operate their head office from the City of London. They will never tell customers that. They pretend to be in Switzerland. So if there's any problems, they will have you write in expensive legal letters to Switzerland. You're going to hit a brick wall, and then they're going to tell you get a Swiss lawyer and that involved. And these legal letters, all they do is go to a PO box address in Switzerland and get posted back to the UK. Exactly like when an event is cancelled in the UK. You shouldn't have to post back tickets. The primary market, Ticketmaster and that, will know when an event's cancelled and customers will get a refund. However, what Viagogo will do is if the event has already had tickets in hand and posted them out, Viagogo will write to you, giving you a deadline of 6 days to post your tickets back. And they'll always give, they used to give the Switzerland address, now they give the Ireland address, even though the main head office is in London. They'll give you a 6-day deadline because quite a lot of people won't be bothered and they'll think it's their fault. Oh, I never posted the tickets back, it's my fault, I've lost £100, I've lost £200. But you times that by the amount of people they're doing it to, they know they're not giving 100% refunds. They're making things as hard as possible. I mean, you cannot take, they put Viagogo Limited down in the UK when the rugby tried to take Viagogo to court. So you will try to get them to court here and you'll have no small claims coming. You'll probably spend money on a small claims caught online, to get 6 weeks down the line to find out, oh, actually, Viagogo are not in the UK. Totally rubbish. They're hide behind a load of sister companies, one of them being VGL Services Limited. So, if you are at the stage where you're pulling your hair out and want to get to small claims, may I suggest VGL Services Limited? I'll go through a lot of the other, it sounds like I'm ranting, I'll go through a lot of the other areas. There's just so many scams within the market. And what's annoying is, the BBC and that were going to report these scams. A reporter, Chi, went and met Viagogo, and then it was not long after that it all went quiet, and then they went back to just reporting about the price. Now, I don't know if reporters were paid out, I hope they weren't, or whether it was just a threat of legal action. They have got a really big legal team. Like, you'll find that this video will not last up on YouTube long. This is why I need help from people, other people that have been let down. I need help to spread the word of what's going on, really. But, I mean, the main thing on this video is just what we need to lean on, MPs, etc. All I want to do is make ticket selling exactly how these companies say they're selling tickets. So, at the point of listing, every ticket should be proven. So, when people are spending, because people are spending a high amount of money, and when people are spending that high amount of money, they should be guaranteed. Like, if you're going to France this year for the Euros, the cost of flights is extortionate. The cost of hotels is extortionate. The time of work, extortionate. Then you're going to get there and get run about. And then if they let you down and you do not get a ticket for the event, it's all, yeah, you might get, you know, they'll make you jump through hoops to get a refund. So if you spend, say, £500 on an England game, they'll make you jump through hoops to get that £500 back. But you might have spent £2,000 on your travel and that. They will never give that back. They might give you a £50 only if you're vocal enough on review boards and that. They'll give you like a £50 credit voucher to use on their site and to tell you it's very rare. And some of these people end up taking the voucher and writing good reviews for this company and saying, you know, how, you know, their money was safe. They were covered by the Viagogo guarantee. They were safe. You know, it's not like that at all. There was never a seller in place. Most of the time there's never a seller in place. And we, you know, again, we'll prove that in more detailed videos later on. But for now, also, I mean, when it gets closer to the event as well, there's been far, far too many, for my liking, of UPS tickets going missing. UPS, a delivery company that are delivering the tickets, go missing. And they always seem to be for hard to find tickets. And they're never for that easy event. You only have to go on Twitter and type in Viagogo UPS. And there'll be so many people. The UPS has lost their tickets. Now, this is the biggest delivery company in the world. It's not losing that percentage and that amount of tickets, all for the same events. Something's very iffy there. You know, quite a lot of people have sold out to these people. UPS, I wouldn't like to accuse anyone of anything, but have they sold out to Viagogo? Just it's going to be a very, very large contract, and half these customers don't use UPS on their day-to-day thing, so UPS are not losing any business of it. Or it could just be as simple as Viagogo going into the UPS system, editing an address, doing something wrong to make it look like it was somebody else that lost the tickets or done something. Either way, that needs to be fully investigated. Their links with Trustpilot and the fact that they could get all bad reviews removed, that needs to be investigated. The fact that they can write their own good review after good review after good review, that needs to be investigated. Because you go a little bit more down the review site boards and go to other review boards, and it's all bad. It's all 1 star about Viagogo. But because Trustpilot comes up high on Google, Viagogo have got some sort of links with them. So there's a link there that needs to be... I mean, Viagogo used to have links with all national newspapers. The Sun used to do Sun tickets, Star tickets. So that's why these people as well have no chance to get their voice heard through media outlets, because they've had partnerships with them in the past. So like I was saying about Chelsea or, the French Open, when these two big companies have partnerships, when they split, they don't like to air their laundry in public, and they don't slag each other off. It will probably be in part of the contract that they cannot slag each other off. So these papers will not print bad stuff about Viagogo. I don't know what the MPs are. Sharon Hodson's office, she'll push someone called Reg Walker if you've got any serious problems about tickets. And he just seems to be paid to gather information. I don't really understand what it is with him. He'll act helpful, he'll gather information, but it all comes to nothing. So really, it frustrates you a lot more when you finally think you found someone that will listen to you. You finally think you'll find someone that will have your voice heard, and then it just comes to nothing. And then more importantly, Reg Walker knows about the secondary ticket market. I, for one, have explained a lot about the secondary ticket market to him and proven exactly how sales work from a power seller's point of view. I've shown all emails, etc. But then Reg used the platform just before the Manny Pacquiao-Mayweather fight on Sky News. He used the platform to sell to the newspapers, etc., that the reason these tickets are not ending up in the hands of genuine fans is because bad touts are using robots to buy these tickets. Now, this is not the case. It doesn't need to be the case, because these big tout companies, probably was the case back years ago. And I know in the Olympics 4 years ago, there were systems in place. It wasn't robots to buy tickets. It was just to beep up on the official ticket website. Tickets were going back on sale every half an hour or that, and this robot would beep up just when the ticket that you were interested in had come back on sale. It was nothing more than that. There's certainly not touts using loads of robots to mass buy tickets. Touts don't need to. If they've got that rich and that powerful, like the main players Viagogo, they're just buying off promoters directly. There was a time, we all seen dispatches, when Viagogo first started up, no one would work with them, because no one wanted to work with touts back in the day. So Viagogo did used to have all the office staff using all their own credit cards to buy tickets. That does not need to be done no more. So what's very confusing to me is this Reg Walker, who Sharon Hodson's office is having dealing with all tickets, and he's getting quite good platform for his voice. He's now appears to be selling out as well. I don't know who spoke to him, because he's now saying that touts are buying these tickets through robots. It's not happening like that. So it's blinding the public to exactly what's happening. The public think that they all moan, these tickets are ending up on Viagogo straight away. These touts are buying and putting straight on Viagogo. They're not. Viagogo, all they're doing is listing tickets that they haven't got, as I keep explaining. I mean, that was when I was a power seller with Viagogo. Back when they first started, they had you get your own power seller manager. Mine was Francesco. He was encouraging me to sell what I haven't got, almost like a drop shipping. He was explaining to me to sell what we haven't got, and at that time he was promising not to fine sellers if they failed, because these fines are never pushed on buyers and never ever get compensation anyway. But nowadays, as Viagogo's got more and more bigger, they're treating their sellers like rubbish too. So they're fining sellers, and there's a big scam around fake fines, etc. Again, that is really complex. I'm going to have to do that in another video, because I realise this has gone on way too long now.